The People Playbook is for professional business owners and leaders who understand business rises and falls on people. You will hear practical, real-world conversations on clear leadership, smart hiring, and building strong teams. All formulas for retention. Get ready to hear your professional peers and industry experts as they discuss lessons learned and best practices. Get that journal out. You'll be taking lots of notes.
Welcome to the People Playbook, a weekly show designed for business owners, leaders, and professionals who understand that organizational success depends on how well people are hired, developed, and led. Each episode features practical, real-world conversations around leadership best practices and lessons learned, focusing on what actually works inside growing organizations. Each week, the People Playbook will deliver actionable tips that align business strategy with people strategy. I am your host, Coach Cora, a trusted advisor to organizational leadership for over 25 years. I work with top leaders through the front line across industries, company size, and within many different business cycles. And I have had the opportunity to work with many of our Texas treasures. With me today is Wendii from Team Coach Cora, who delivers some of our solutions for us. And you know her. She's been here before. She's spoken to feedback, talked about Toastmasters, and engaged in our educational spots before. Today, the monthly educational focus, presented by myself with Wendii's support, is sponsored by CCL Ventures. Today, our focus on feedback will take us from cold grits to breakfast of the champions. Are you excited to talk about this, Wendii?
More excited about feedback than cold grits, but yeah. Let's keep going until we get to breakfast.
Who likes cold grits?
No one.
Well, leadership is the ability to influence others towards outcomes needed for organizational success. Influence is not about getting people to do what they don't want to do or manipulating. It's about moving people towards the outcomes that we all agree are needed. And anytime you are interacting with others to influence that outcome, you're practicing leadership skills. And we all know you don't need a title to do it. We all have different leadership styles, and we all have different skills that we're comfortable with. The problems arise when we expect our preferred style and our most developed skills to work in all situations with all people. So today we're going to talk about ways that we can be flexible and build new skills in how we use feedback, which is one of our strongest levers in influence.
It's like cooking. There's a million ways to cook steak. And we have a preferred way, but there's a bunch of other ways. And sometimes other people prefer other ways of their steak being cooked. And you just have to learn how to cook it that way.
I love that analogy. That is so true. And is it how we cook it or what we end up with?
Both sometimes.
Both sometimes, right? Because it doesn't always work.
Some people like their food separated on the plate. Other people like it all mixed together. It's just a case of working out what they want, and then you give them what they want in order to get you what you want.
So that it becomes a win-win, Wendii.
Right, exactly.
I love that. You know, it's interesting. Feedback is the number one requested skill development in coaching. Across platforms, I've been on many platforms. I've worked internally in many organizations. The number one things that leaders of leaders and leaders themselves ask is the ability to have difficult conversations. It's fascinating, right?
It is. It's like I've never seen a employee survey that did say we have too much communication, and I've never seen a development program that doesn't have feedback and difficult conversations on it.
Right.
Everybody struggles with it.
Everybody.
And everyone can get better because it's a skill. So if it's a skill, you can learn it.
You know, and one of the things we're going to talk about a little bit today is there is some skill. There's also some mindset. How do I look at feedback, and how do I look at the relationship, supervisor to performer? And we're going to look at that. 3 things I'd like to cover today, Wendii, is what is the feedback that disengages people? Mm-hmm. What are the things, intentional or not, that build walls and crumble bridges? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that. And then as a result of that, what are some specific language we can use that engages people in their own performance an improvement. Let's do that. And then leave with some tips that people could employ.
Awesome.
Let's do that.
Let's go.
Well, Wendii, you know, I come from horses. Mm-hmm. I grew up around horses. So much of communication I learned from my equine teachers. And I learned a lot about growing up and riding horses in different ways. And here's one of the things I learned. There's different types of training. One is redundancy training. I do it, and I do it, and I do it, and I do it, and I do it. And eventually it's like, if I just do this when you do that, you'll go away. And there's times when redundancy training is very effective. Like if I'm teaching muscle memory, I want to do it over and over and over again, right?
Right.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. When I'm teaching people how to do CPR, let's do it, and we do it to a song and it's redundancy, do it so that you remember without having to remember. Mm-hmm. Redundancy training also is people get tired of hearing it again and again. Mm-hmm. And that's, if I really need something, I'll let people get tired of it. The other result that they don't always think about is that I'm diminishing critical thinking. So back to horses. If every time I move my foot here, you're supposed to do that. If every time I move my foot here, you're supposed to do that. And when you don't, I just keep doing it. And the reward is I stop when you do what I'm asking you to. The horse just knows, you know what, when you do that, I just got to do this. But I can't teach that horse to prepare for all situations through redundancy training.
Right, because it only knows this action leads to this thing, but it's not thinking. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The other type is annoyance training. I'm just going to annoy you. I'm just going to be at you. Some people call that micromanaging. Mm-hmm. As long as I'm just, then people they'll just do it to get you to go away.
I call that nagging.
Nagging, right? And there's sometimes I will say that annoyance works. Mm-hmm. If I've got a horse and it won't load, and I'm trying to teach it to load, I might annoy it because I want it to be more uncomfortable outside the trailer than in. Mm-hmm. If you go in the trailer, I'm going to reward you. If you're standing out, I'm just going to annoy you. And it's a great alternative to fear, where I'm forcing, fighting, arguing, right?
Right.
So there's this time. But with people, annoyance, those that I lead, if when they see me coming, it's like, oh, here she goes. What are we going to do to get her to go away? What do we need to tell her? That's compliance.
Right.
That isn't engagement. It means I'm going to do what you're telling me to just to get you to go away.
Right. And again, critical thinking, not engaged.
100%, right? I'm not critically thinking about the why, the purpose.
I'm just trying to get through my day.
I just want to get through my day. There's another training that I learned, and it's gotten really big when I was young. We started riding without bridles, and we started riding without saddles, and it's very popular now because what I'm going to do is communication training. I'm going to learn how to communicate with my horse in a way that the horse listens, and I'm listening to the horse. So what that means is when I'm riding my horse with a bridle, with a saddle out on a trail, and we come to a trail and there's a tree across it, how do I communicate with that horse what I need it to do so that we can get under that tree? And if I've only taught them commands through redundancy, the horse doesn't know what to do.
Right. Unknown situation.
Right. But in this situation, this has happened to me before. I can say, okay, I'm going to take the saddle off. I need you just to get down a little lower to get your withers under that table. So, hey, can you move this? And I'm just tapping on the foot. Like this foot? Yeah. Okay, and then I tap on another. And that's not anything we train to do. We have established trust in our relationship. And I know you talk about that a lot, Wendii. Let's have some trust. And so that you're seeking to understand what I want, and I'm asking for what I want. And that's communication training. That when I can get on a horse and through my weight shifting, steer the horse. And the horse is in tune to what I'm doing. Because I'm not up there just flapping around with my arms and legs. And, that's very noisy. And with people, it's very noisy when we're talking a lot. When we send mixed, inconsistent messages, it becomes noise. So if we're going to give feedback that is helpful, it has to have some intention to it. And that's the I'm going to train you through communication. I'm going to train you that I want to listen to you so that you can listen to me.
Right. So you got to start with small things, right?
Right. Yeah, feedback starts with, what is my mindset? Is my mindset, I got to show up every day and tell you what to do? Or is my mindset, I need to figure out what you need from me? So one of my favorite models, and I know you are a fan of this too, is the Dunning-Kruger learning curve. And that often gets coupled with the situational leadership model. And I love this model. It's so helpful for leaders to understand intentional feedback. So Dunning-Kruger teaches us that there are psychological reasons and processes around learning. The less information I have and the less experience I have, the more confidence I have in my competence. I believe I can. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I've never driven a car, I'm pretty sure I can. It looks easy.
Yeah, right? I sat on my dad's lap. Of course I can do it.
Do you remember when before you had a driver's license, it looked easy?
It looks so easy.
I can do that.
Yeah.
And we often refer to that stage as, I don't know what I don't know. Therefore, I assume it must be easy. And then there's that stage where I just learned what I don't know.
Right. Like you get in, I'm old enough to have cars that stalled.
Yeah.
We had gear shifts and stuff.
Yeah, those old gear shift things.
Yeah. First time you get in a car, stalled. It's like, what did I do? The engine just stopped. Now what?
Now what?
And then you think, this must be way harder than I think it is.
Well, and I remember I thought you just pushed on the brake and then you realize, all of a sudden everybody's flying forward. Like,
People with concussion.
You go to steer the car and the whole car turns and I just wanted to go around a curve. Whoa, wait, what's going on? You don't know how far to turn, how hard to push. You can't push that gas pedal all the way to the floor, right?
Yeah.
And you got to figure out that coordination between when you and I learned the clutch and the gas, right? That was coordination and we had to learn all of that. So we went from this blind peak, this blind competence peak, they call it, down to the valley of despair. Do you remember that?
Oh, absolutely.
I have no idea what's going on. I didn't know that I didn't know how. And now I'm not happy because this sucks. I can't do it. It must be a stupid car. Why do my parents have crappy cars that I can't drive?
Right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And employees in the workplace
Why can't I afford a chauffeur?
Right. Why can't we afford a chauffeur? Yeah. And employees go through this, whether they're new to the task, new to the organization. We're asking them to perform. They come in, sure, yeah, I can do that. And then they can't, and they're miserable.
Right. And if this is making me think, if we are the employee and our leader is learning feedback, we have to give them grace too. Because
love that.
They are also in that sucky, I'm trying this and it's not working and I said all the wrong things and now they're upset.
Yeah.
And like, please, they're trying. Give them a break.
Yeah, it is a two-way learning. I love that. Absolutely. And it's feedback that moves people from that valley of despair up to that plateau of sustainability. How are we going to get there through feedback? And that's the beauty of recognizing when somebody says, hey, can you go drive that forklift over there? Sure, of course I can. Have you ever been trained? Nah, how hard could it be? And off they go. But the reality is, if I haven't seen you do it, if you haven't produced results, I don't know. I don't know. And that's that feedback part and the question part and the leadership of influence. What have you done in the past? How did you do? What were your results? What would be your first step here? Because once I get to that place where I'm good, I'm the master of, I know how to drive. Wendii, I don't know about you, but I know how to drive, and I've been doing it for a long time. So when somebody gets in the car and starts telling me how to drive,
that's frustrating.
So it's frustrating if I don't know how and you're not helping me. And it's so frustrating when I know what I'm doing and somebody's like, oh, look what you did. Oh, you did a good job. Oh, look, you know how to drive. Be like, wait, what? Yes. So for leaders, to your point, to have their own development skills around adapting to where that person is. And the beauty of that is then they introduce, you can use that with the situational leadership model. which I'm a fan of. So situational leadership is for leaders. If we can honor that people are at different levels in their competence, and that's going to drive different behaviors and certainly different needs, then we can adjust and say, as a leader, that's a part where I don't want to get stuck in my style. I love to coach people. I don't want to be directive. But if I don't know how, I need your direction. I don't need your support. I need your direction. And so I need to find a way as a leader to adjust to that situation and be directive, because that's what they need.
Right. Absolutely. Cooking steak. If they need a barbecue, then you have to learn to barbecue, even if you don't like it.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I love that analogy. And then conversely, if I'm a leader, and I love direction, I love giving direction. I'm very good at delegating. I'm really good at providing direction. I'm specific and hands-on. I love to direct. If you have somebody who's been doing it and they're really good, they're at that R4 level where they know exactly what their skills are, their readiness and willingness is, and you come over and start directing them, it doesn't go well. That's such a good way to drive engagement. Let me help you with step one. You know what you need to do for step one? And it's so insulting.
Right. Like someone getting in your car and telling you how to drive.
Right. And there's that other piece in there, and you talked about that a lot when you were here talking about Toastmasters, which I loved. If I'm new and you give me the direction I need, and then I realize what I don't know, now I get frustrated and you offer some support. It's okay. This happens. Everybody goes through this. Let's walk through the next step. Ultimately, I move out of that valley of despair up into that plateau of sustainability. But as I'm moving and I've demonstrated, I've learned it, and I know how, I may not yet quite have the confidence in my ability. So I tend to go back. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And that's the crucial part for leaders. If they've done it and showed you and they're still building their confidence, don't tell them what to do. Because you can literally freeze and suspend their development. They become reliant on you. And it's such a siren song for leaders. Oh, they need me. Oh, look, they come to me. Oh, I have this open door, and any questions you have.
Again, you're not letting them or conditioning them or encouraging them to use their critical thinking. You're you're allowing them to only deal with the situations you've already taught them, like the horse, right?
That's right.
But you have to get them through that by encouraging them, by letting them do it, like letting them self-direct their own learning, and then praising them or giving them encouragement when they do it right or wrong, right? Because that's what learning too, so that they get through that to the place where they're thinking on their own.
Yes. And I've heard so much in the market right now, they're really talking about in relation to AI, being willing to really focus on employees learning, because there's so much change going on right now. We're doing things different and we're trying new things. And there's so much innovation. There's like the companies that are really good at valuing learning. Let's learn. Okay, well, what will you try next? What will be your new next step? What do you think got in your way? Really driving that, like you said, the critical thinking and the confidence. The minute I tell you what to do, they're off the hook. I want them to think about it. And then, well, that sounds really great. Let's see how that works. If they're going down the wrong course, I might say, well, what could go wrong if you go with that one? What are other ideas you have? I want them to be, you use the word self-directed. I want them to become self-directed problem solvers that are not reliant on me to do their job. You know what they need from me? The vision, the expectations. Most people want to get to that point through feedback where they can go do their own job and they don't need me. So we have to learn to adjust to those different styles.
Right.
I like to sum it up by saying, when we have somebody who's not performing, it can be tempting to be a little antagonistic. Like, oh, they're not getting done when I need to. I need to. And moving away from that antagonistic approach to more of a diagnostic.
Like, what's going on here?
What's going on here? What's in the way? And that's the piece that we start to have those communication training. Mm-hmm. They want to ask you, where are you at? What are your challenges? What do you need? What do you not have? And I am such a fan. So one of the tips that I want to leave our audience with is what I call the checklist. If I was to be diagnostic as a leader regarding performance, whether that's they're not delivering outcomes or they're not displaying the behavior or they're resisting expectations, whatever that is, first and foremost, do they have clarity? That's the first responsibility of a supervisor and a leader. Do they have clarity?
Do they know what they're supposed to be doing?
Do they know what they're supposed to be doing? And have I been clear? Have I included the 5 W's and the H? Mm-hmm. Who, where, what, why, how, when? Making sure that they understand the urgency, the measurements, the desired outcomes, who else is involved, who this impacts, the why are we doing this? Clarity is the expectation and the responsibility of the leader. So I always go right back to that. Do they have clarity? If they do they have competency?
Have they practiced it enough to be good at it?
Do they know how? Mm-hmm. Right? Do they know how? And so really evaluating, because again, if I haven't seen them do it, I don't know that they can. Mm-hmm. And people have a tendency, if I ask you to do something, they want to do it. Mm-hmm. Or they think they can. And we call that masking my incompetence, right? If you want me to do something.
And not deliberately, not because I'm trying, but because I want to please you, so I'm going to say yes.
Right. That's right. Yeah, masking incompetence has nothing to do with being a bad employee. It has everything to do with wanting to be a good employee. Mm-hmm. So I mask that, and I go and I try it, and I keep failing. And then the response, when more diagnostic, helps me versus increasing my disengagement and frustration through antagonism, right? If their competency is there, and I like to ask myself, is this a communication style issue? Mm-hmm. Right? And you're a fan of DISC.
Right. I was just thinking about DISC because you were talking about diagnostics. Mm-hmm. And because I'm a high D and I tend to think that people are annoying me, and then I say it out loud, which is not good. Right. If you're in that situation where someone is doing something and they're not getting it right, taking yourself away from that situation, waiting to calm down, and then going through this checklist, writing it down so that you're forcing yourself to externalize it and get out of the emotion is really helpful.
I love that tip. Yes. And if I am a high D, right? You just mentioned D, then I tend to be bullet points, high, big picture. Hey, make sure that crane over there moves that piece of product over there by 2:00. Mm-hmm. Done. But if somebody is a high C, they want the 32-page report of what they're supposed to be doing. When you say that, what does that mean? Mm-hmm. Over there, how far? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And they just have so many details. Mm-hmm. And if I continue to say, just move that over there, it's over there, they get in this state of angst. Yes. What does that mean?
Yeah, they won't act because they don't have enough information.
I know you want me to do something, and I know how. I just don't know what you're asking. Mm-hmm. And conversely, if I'm the C and I'm handing you a 32-page report of everything, the D is looking at me like,
yeah, what, you getting me? What do you want me to do with this?
Right.
Just tell me what you want me to do.
Yes. So we have the clarity, communication style, and then just make sure you're providing the resources. Is there something that gets in the way? Is there a conflict? Is there a barrier that I need to remove? Right? Mm-hmm. When we work through those, we will resolve most of the issues. And at the end of the day, you can just ask, is it a values issue? If it's a values issue, then we discuss our exit strategy. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
This is Coach Cora, and you've been listening to the People Playbook on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Richard Barrett, a renowned author, speaker, and top thinker in values-based leadership, cultural transformation, and human potential, once said, "People trust you when you are genuine and authentic, not an imitation of who you think you need to be." Today's discussion on feedback is not only about bringing the best out in others, it's about leaders being their best version and having the courage to step into an authentic conversation that is based on partnership with a mutual interest in success, moving us to a healthy relationship with those we lead. being willing to sit in the heat of the learning process. We don't need to fix people. We simply need to communicate effectively with them through clarity of expectations and an ability to hear their challenge. Remember, your business rises and falls on people. We are here to help you build clear leadership, develop smart hiring practices, and develop teams with intentionality. With these practices, everything else just gets easier. And as your sponsor of today's show, I, Cora Lanning, president of CCL Ventures, look forward to helping you build the skills within your organization that will grow your business. Let's talk. Go to CoachCora.com. On the homepage, just click Book with Me to set up a complimentary discovery meeting, because there's nothing more I love than talking to people about people.
Thank you for listening to the People Playbook. For more information, Coach Cora can be found on LinkedIn and at CoachCora.com. Let's meet here next Saturday, 2 p.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.